Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech, but today I want to take a look at this article from Frostbites. 49% of Facebook employees don't believe it had positive impact on the world. So I guess that means 51% of people within Facebook thinks it had a negative effect or no effect at all. Seriously though, check out my boy here. He looks like a lizard person. I see so many pictures of him, and he looks like such a lizard person. So he must be a tech guy. He really must be. Facebook released the results of an internal half-yearly pulse survey. One of the key findings it reported on BuzzFeed. Oh, this is an article that is basically a report on another article. I love these things. I don't care how hard you think it is to make news, but if you're just getting your information from other articles, man, that's interesting. Oh wait, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Is that only 51% of employees believe that Facebook is having a positive impact on the world. The survey was taken by 49,000 Facebook employees in a period of 2 weeks in October. The survey results came out right after Nick Yada Yada, Global Affairs and Communications at Facebook, appreciated the employees for the platform's preparedness for the November U.S. election. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on with that. So I don't want to get much further into this, but what I want to get at is that Mark Zuckerberg looks like a shape-shifting lizard person from Omicron Persei 8. No, but seriously, a lot of the people working for Facebook don't even like Facebook. They probably don't even have Facebook. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even let their kids have Facebook. They're probably Instagram users. They're probably millennials or late-stage Generation Zers. But one thing I want to get across that everybody knows is that old people use Facebook. Everybody knows that old folks use Facebook. And when old folks get around the table and they start talking about stuff, they always bring up some BS, but they have the right to bring up some BS. They have the right to be wrong. It's just an interesting time now that everybody's coming online with their BS, and all of a sudden the people housing this BS are getting upset with it and shutting it down. So old people, in my area anyways, I don't know about where you guys are, they get together at a coffee or a donut shop or the Legion or something, and they get around and they spout BS, and of course no one's ever going to fact check them on anything, and of course they're going to be wrong. What if the Legion or the donut shop or whatever stopped allowing customers in if they talked about things that were not accurate? So there are definitely a lot of inaccurate things going on Facebook, on Twitter, and Twitter and Facebook are now shutting these things down. But I think they're shutting down, and I think we're seeing the winter of a formal method of communication. I mean, back before we had the internet, we had newspapers, right? But if you wanted information right there and then, you weren't getting it, and you basically had to go off of what people surrounding your table remembered, the information that they remembered, and based off their ability to remember it and their ability to be truthful and remember things correctly. Let's face it, there's a lot of things that we don't quite remember correctly, and there's a lot of information that is right or wrong based off of a certain slant, a certain angle. I'm sure we've all had situations where we were upset with somebody until we understood a certain caveat of the conversation, a certain corner of it, and that's just how it goes. But by saying you don't like Facebook because of the disinformation that gets spread by it, okay, I can get that. But at the same time, that's what we have for conversations. 20 years ago, that is all that we had. This disinformation without fact checking is absolutely all that we had. Perhaps the older generation is having a harder time getting with the new way, but I do think that it should somewhat be respected. And it's an interesting thing that these days the coffee shop in this situation, which is Facebook, is being asked to clamp down on this stuff. So if we close the coffee shop, are the people going to stop talking about their BS? No, they're not. They're just going to do it in other places. They're going to find another place to talk about BS with information that they don't know is accurate. Man, we have so many people online that have access to the internet, that have access to everything, that choose not to use this information in their arguments. They just want to argue. They just want to be right. They just got a bone to pick. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But I don't think that it's right to take down Facebook or to give Facebook a hard time because there's old people spreading disinformation. Because old people spreading disinformation is pretty much part of the country, and it's a small part of the economy. This information you don't exactly know, so we go to get information. And where do we get information from? What media outlets can we trust? There's a lot of situations where the only media outlets that we can trust are like Al Jazeera or the Russian Times, as horrible as it is to say, because they're the only ones that aren't attached to a news group or attached to something that's trying to sell you advertisements or sell you stuff. Thank you very much, Mr. Rupert Murdoch. But even within a place where we can get all the facts and the information, we get into a situation where we have to worry about what facts and information are right and from what direction we are getting our facts and information. So it's an interesting fight, and I think we're going to be fighting this on down the line for quite a while. Anyways, if you have any comments, if you think I missed anything, yeah, leave a comment, like and subscribe if you like this stuff. It's always appreciated. And as always, folks, take care of each other, will yous?